Now, welcome to part 12, which is the regime of General Muritala Mohammed. Now, General Muritala Mohammed's regime was one of the shortest military regimes in Nigerian history for so many well-known reasons. One of the reasons was that he was assassinated by a man called Buka Suka Dimka, who actually assassinated him on his way to work. Sorry, after the German service on his way back to work. So, what was his contributions to Nigerian history that we always remember him by? Now, oftentimes, a lot of historians have often joined his regime to Obansanjo regime. So that's what we'll be doing in this video segment. Muritala Obansanjo regime, 75 to 79, 4 years. So, Muritala Mohammed, first of all, promised one thing, which is to return Nigeria back to civilian rule, which he set the date of 1979, October 1st, 1979, which his predecessor, General Olusegun Obasanjo, stick to and later on handed over power. So, his regime was so short that he didn't have any much significant progress. But the one thing that he did was that he still continued Nigerian support to the African National Congress in South Africa, who were fighting apartheid. He was still a strong vocal critic of racism and colonialism, and he sponsored a lot of efforts in Zimbabwe, Namibia, SWAPO in Namibia, Zimbabwe, Fremilo in Mozambique, and the rest to fight against colonialism. And this was the period that many of these nations started realizing their independence. So we'll have to give Muritala Mohammed that credit. So eventually in 1976, February 1976, he was assassinated by Bukasun Kadinka. And after he died, Olusegun Obasanjo took over power. General Olusegun Obasanjo took over power. And when he took over power, he still retained many of Muritala's plans. Muritala's plans, then in 77, one of the things he did was that he hosted the biggest art and culture festival the world have ever seen, which was the Festac 77. So next time when you get to my town, you see Festac. No, that Festac was the place where they housed all the whole guests that came for the event. All those apartment flats you see in Festac that's very tiny and expensive. Yes, that was where they housed all the whole international guests that came for that event, and that was what led to the building of the National Theatre. So that was what led to the building of the National Theatre. So the Festac 77 was one of the biggest festival and art events in Africa. It was hosted by Nigeria. So after 77, in 78, Obasanjo began building cordial relationship with the United States, and eventually in 79, Obasanjo became the first military head of state to peacefully hand over power to a civilian government. So in 1979, Obasanjo instituted a new system of government, which is still in existence till today. He changed the Nigerian democratic system from a parliamentary democracy to a presidential democracy, and he set up a new electoral law whereby the whole essence of winning two-thirds of the states in Nigeria became a thing to win, and not just winning only majority vote, but also winning 25% of two-third majority, which is still in our constitution till today. This should be credited to Olusegun Obasanjo for his efforts, because he was the one who set up the presidential system and the principle behind many of the presidential systems. So in 1979, Alhaji Shehu Shagari won the election, and in October 1st, he was sworn in and he became the first executive president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So note, Azikiwe is the first ceremonial, while Alhaji Shehu Shagari is the first executive president. Thank you.